Hi, this is Ike from IkesOutdoors.com. Today we're going to be doing a product review on the Badrivers Tagged Out Rangefinder. Now what this is it's not like your traditional laser rangefinder. What this is it's a rangefinder that attaches directly to your sight. I'm going to pop this apex sight off here and give you a little bit better look at it. Okay, you can see here how that attaches to your sight. What it does on this apex is it slides right in the housing and has two bolts on the bottom and top. This model right here is the Extreme model. Now they make two different models. They make the Extreme model and the Acrylic model. And we'll talk about both of them in this video and give you a few features on each one. Now the first thing we're going to talk about is how this product works. What this is it's a rangefinder that attaches directly to your sight, and it enables you to range that animal quickly and accurately at full draw. Laser rangefinders are great and they're nice, and I still carry one in my pack. But with a laser rangefinder, you have to put your bow down, bring your laser rangefinder up, and range that animal. And then put your rangefinder down and pull your bow back. What this enables you to do is to pull your bow, and at full draw, you can range that animal. Last year I used this product, and I can tell you right now, it saved me on numerous occasions. I used this to range every animal that came into me last year, whether I was going to harvest that animal or not, just to test the accuracy of it. If it was an animal that I wasn't going to harvest, I would range it with this. I'd hit it with my laser rangefinder, and most times I could range a deer, whether it be a yearling deer or a mature deer, within 2 yards of what they actually were in my laser rangefinder. But how this helped me out last year, one of the ways it's most critical to me is when your yardage changes abruptly. I had a big mature buck came in last year. I was actually at full draw on him, and he moved forward too far, and I had to let up. When I let up, my arrow hit my riser, and he went to run off. And as soon as he started to run off, I made a mouth bleep, and he stopped and turned back to me. I had to pull my bow up and make a quick shot, and with this rangefinder, I was able to pull my bow up, come to full draw, range that deer, and make a shot. In my mind, I was guessing him for 30 yards, but when I ranged him with this, he was actually at 25. And because of this rangefinder, I put one right in his last rib, came out this off shoulder. He went 65, 70 yards and laid down there and died. And this was about 130 class Missouri whitetail, one of the best deer that I took last year. Actually, the best deer I took last year. So, alright, let's talk about some of the features of this now that I'm done telling my little story. You'll see here, and you'll see in the graphic below how this actually works. This graphic will give you a little bit better idea of how to actually use this thing better than I can show. So, what you'll see here on this Extreme model, you've got a line right down here at the bottom, and on top you've got a stair step. What you're going to do, and it's real simple, is you're going to take this bottom line. You're going to put it right on the bottom of the deer's chest. Once you line that up with it, wherever his back falls in this stair step is going to be the yardage that deer's at. If his back's even with this top one, he's at 20 yards. If his back's right here in the middle, he's at 25. If he's here, he's at 30. In the middle there, 35. And on the bottom here, if he fits right here in this little gap, he's out there at 40 yards. Now, with a little bit of work, I can pull this thing up. I worked with it last year, and within a couple of weeks I could pull this thing up, and then just a quick glance of it, I was able to range those deer within 2 yards almost every time, and it took me about 2 seconds to do it. With a little bit of practice and a little bit of work, these things are very easy to use and very accurate. Now when I set it up, one of the things I found that really helped me, on this side I haven't got it completely set up yet, but I've got my 20-yard pin set up, and that's just about it, is with my 20-yard here, I put my 20-yard pin right there in the middle of that. So what I did was I put this on here, and I moved my housing and moved my sight pins. There's a little bit of adjustment there, but you're going to find that this little bit of time is going to offer you a huge advantage. But I adjusted my housing and adjusted my pins to where that fell right there in the middle of that 20-yard range. So my 20-yard pin corresponded directly with my 20-yard range. Now I'll also do the same thing here with my 30-yard pin. It'll be right there in the middle of those, or as close as I can get it. And what that's going to allow me to do is when I pull up and I range that animal and I see him at 20 yards, my 20-yard pin set in this location is already almost perfectly on his vitals. So I don't have to pull up, range him, and then make any kind of movements. When I pull up, everything's right there and ready to go. Now this model here is the Extreme model. This one's made of a tough, durable aluminum. It also glows in the dark, so in low light situations, you can see that nice yellow there. Low light situations, just hit this thing with your flashlight. It's going to make it glow in the dark, and when you pull that thing back, you're going to be able to range your animal right up till dusk, right up till you can't see hardly anything anymore. Some of the other features of this Extreme model is, and the Acrylic model, is it's weatherproof, very durable. Like we said, it's made out of aluminum. Weather's not going to bother this thing a bit. It also is going to show you if you're canting your bow. I shot recurve for a lot of years, and I had a real problem with canting my bow. And you can see on this, when you pull that back, if you're canting your bow or you don't have your bow sideways, you're going to see it right there. So that's going to show you a little bit of form issues as well. This is the Acrylic model, and this one's on my wife's bow currently, but I used it last year on my hunting bow, and I used the Extreme model on my hunting bow as well last year. But I used this on one of my hunting bows last year, and right now I've got it on my wife's bow. And you can see here, this one will work with pretty much any sight that has a round housing. It's got a nice piece of, a nice sticky piece of double-sided tape here that's going to secure this to your sight. And I can tell you, this sight last year I used it primarily on my hunting bow. I had the Extreme model on a hunting bow that was stolen, and they stole my rangefinder with it. So whoever you are out there, I appreciate that. They wanted that rangefinder so bad they stole my bow. But this one I used for the last half of the season, and this tape up here, this double-sided tape, I was really amazed at how well this thing held up. I am not nice to my bows. My hunting bows are hunting bows, and I use them. They're a tool, and that's how I use them. And this thing was out in the rain. It was out in snow. We got a lot of snow last year in Missouri, and this thing really went through the weather and held up fine. You can see it's still on there, and it's still stuck down really good and still holding very secure. So the Acrylic model, it will work with any sight that has a round housing, and this adhesive backing, this double-sided tape to it, is going to hold that thing on there very securely. That's the Tagged Out Rangefinder, and it is awesome for deer, awesome for hunting. It is a product that you will not see me head to the deer woods without. Now there's another great way of using this thing. And you don't want to go to IBO sanctioned shoots with it. If you're going to go to IBO sanctioned shoots, you're going to want to take this thing off there. But for guys like me who are just shooting local 3D, this thing works awesome for 3D shoots. You can go to a 3D shoot, and what this is it's going to work. I've found that this is the normal whitetail model. It's also available in mule deer, elk, and antelope sizes. And you're going to want to order this specifically for the size of animal that you're hunting. But when I take this thing to a 3D shoot, if I've got a deer target out there, I can use that to range that deer target. And it'll work. What they recommend that you practice with is a 16-inch cutout. And that 16-inch cutout is the average size of a whitetail. Now for your bigger animals, you're going to go up. The 250 plus size is going to be 18-inch. I believe the elk is 24-inch and the antelope's 14-inch. Now what that is you're going to practice with this thing with either a 3D deer that size, target that size, or I made a cardboard cutout last year of 16 inches in practice with that. So when you go to these 3D shoots and you come up on I've used it on deer and wolf and pigs and a few bear, a few different sizes, but you're going to want to work with it a little bit. You can actually take this rangefinder with you, leave it right there on your sight, and you'll be able to range those 3D targets, and you'll have her down within a couple yards. And it's perfectly legal for local 3D shoots. IBO is not going to sanction it, so if you're going to go to an IBO shoot, you're going to want to take it off there. But local 3D shoots like I'm shooting in, perfectly legal for those. And works great. No more guessing your yardage at 3D shoots. No more guessing your yardage when you're out hunting. And it works fantastic. A little bit of practice. It's real quick and real easy to use. Instant accurate measurements at full draw. Very nice product. and one that I definitely will have on all my hunting bows and on all my 3D bows as well. So check them out at badriversoutdoors.com, and that's the tagged out rangefinder. I'm Ike from IkesOutdoors.com. Be sure to visit our website for more product reviews, how-to videos, and tips and tricks.
I like good times, good wine, good smoke, and a 5-piece bed. And ooh, I can't